What is up, guys? Welcome back. So today we're going to be continuing our series on the beginner guide. This video is basically going to be talking about evolution and ascension, and also a little bit about the Starstone dungeon because it's very related to your ascension. So I'm gonna actually just basically say a few things I learned, and a few things that are like unique to the game, which you know, I only had to learn later on. So first of all, evolution, you have to use the same type of monsters to evolve them into Evo 2. If you basically drag them, you know, if you have 3 of the same, maybe like my succubus for example, I can use them as material to evolve into Evo 2. The stat difference for evolving in Evo 2 and Evo 3 is like really big. I would say it's pretty substantial. If you can also look in your Astro guide to see like exactly how much they would get, but basically this is just their stats at that level. Especially like if you look at maybe some of the 5 stars for example. When you get a monster to 5 stars, their stats might be like very similar to this. You know, obviously Nat 5s usually have higher base stats, but if you evolve them, the base stats become a lot higher. Like this is almost I'll say like 80% more than what it was before, and this is a really big difference. Like so you definitely want to be able to evolve your monsters as much as possible. And because of this, early on, it might be better for you to raise 3 stars, like natural 3 stars, rather than natural 4 stars. Even though, like you know, the natural 4 stars are eventually going to become stronger. Like usually the 4 stars are stronger, but the 3 stars are easier to level because it you know, you need a lot of resources to make an Evo 3. When you evolve it into Evo 2, in order to make it an Evo 3, you need 3 Evo 2. So like altogether you need like 18 copies of the same monster in order to make it an Evo 3. And that's only really possible if you're using like farmable 3 stars, and a lot of the 3 stars are farmable. And it's really hard to do if you're using a 4 star. It's pretty much I would say it's impossible to do like in your first month of playing to like get a 4-star monster to Evo 3, unless you use like a lot of gleans, which are very valuable resources that you want to be really careful with. So you definitely want to raise them as high as possible, and therefore if you're in terms of progression, if you're just trying to like progress forward, it might be better for you to raise a 3-star rather than a 4-star in a lot of cases early on, especially if you're using a monster that's only going to be good early, like maybe a sapper or something like that. That's why I think like the water Miho is really good, because she's really easy to level up, and her being a sapper, she's not going to be that useful late game, so it wouldn't really matter that much about her like base stats and stuff. So that's a little bit about evolution. Ascension, basically what you need is to use different types of starstones. You need the normal starstone, you need like the element stones to be able to evolve your monsters. It costs, I think, like you can easily see the cost if you just click on the monster. Like from 3-star to 4-star, it takes like 10 low and 30 low. Oh shit! I accidentally made my screen smaller. But from 4-star to 5-star, it takes 20 mid, 30 mid, and like 30 lows, and then from 4-star to 5-star, or I mean from 5-star to 6-star, it starts taking highs and stuff, and highs are really hard to farm. And yeah, so in order to get a lot of your resources, you need to get them from the Starstone and Water dungeons. I've noticed from my experience with farming the Starstone dungeons, if you like, for example, if you look, it actually shows you the drops from from the side. So this represents small, like low essence or low starstones. This represents mid, and then this represents highs. For for all these maps, they actually have a chance to drop lows, and this only means that once you reach this stage, there's going to be a chance that to drop mids. And obviously, as you get higher, the chances of you dropping highs are going to be higher as well. From my personal experience of farming, I've noticed that the difference is actually quite big. Like from farming like B7 versus B8. Like on B8, I actually get a lot more Starstones than B7. But don't be too discouraged by that. Like if you're just stuck on B7 and you can't farm B8, or I think early on, like I was only able to farm like these stages, or maybe like this stage B3. I wasn't able to farm like all the way up to B6, but I still needed to evolve my monsters and use mid Starstones. Like don't be too discouraged with not being able to farm as high as possible. Just make do with what you can, because once you're able to raise a monster to 5 stars, it's going to be a lot easier to farm, like, you know, further, and then your progress will only get faster and faster. So you don't have to really worry about like, okay, because of energy efficiency I shouldn't farm this stage, I want to farm this stage instead. I would say don't worry too much about it, because you know this game rewards you a lot for playing, so you really just want to play as much as possible, and you'll be able to progress as much as possible just by playing. And it's going to be especially effective like after the update, the new update that's coming. Currently right now when you do a refresh, it's 40 for 30 energy. They're actually changing it and making it 30 for 80 energy, which is going to be really efficient in your farming and stuff. So a lot of people are saving their Astro Gems right now. And I think that's pretty much it. I think that's the general basics of how to evolve a monster, and that's just a little bit of, I don't know, like I guess tips on what you should do when you're raising your monsters and stuff. So hopefully you guys found this helpful. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.